Hello there, how are you doing? Before the start of the video, as usual, I have to let you know what kind of deals Gentleman Pursuits has scored for you, and this time it is guess. And the deals are, if you use GC Fall 10, the code GC Fall 10, yes, GC Fall 10, you get 10% off orders from $150 plus. And if you use GC Fall 20, you get 20% off orders from $250 above. So Guess is a really nice brand. They have really stylish clothes. To be honest, who doesn't know the brand Guess? So if you've been thinking of shopping at Guess, now's the best time. Use the promo code GC10, GC Fall 10, sorry, or GC Fall 20 to get your discount. Now, roll the clip. Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Gentleman's Discourse. This will be episode 14. Hope you guys are doing well. It's been a while because last episode Josh was not here. So, do you guys miss Josh? I miss him.
It was
as I said in the previous episode, it's like a miscommunication, but it's an honest mistake.
Yeah, last week it was a holiday. I was supposed to like rearrange, but then there's miscommunication.
Yeah, but happens. It's okay. We're back. And how are you, man? How's your week?
We're back. Really busy. Like I said, I've been working 12 hours plus for every day this week because deadlines, labs, all that stuff. It's just
my week has
quite
been
busy.
Eventful, but the good kind. Like it's like tiring, but also I'm enjoying the process, so it's all good, man. It's all good. But dude, like last night I had a dream. I don't know if you've ever had this before, but I cried in a dream and I woke up crying, man.
You
and
cried
I
in
woke
the
up
dream.
with like real tears in my eyes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know like who died in the dream, but yeah, I cried. Oh, fun fact of the week. I almost forgot about that. Wait,
Right.
I'm feeling curious. Let's go. I'm gonna read out the first fact Google's gonna give me.
Okay.
Why do we put candles on top of birthday cake? It's actually pretty good. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're actually pretty
dude,
good.
That's actually quite. I actually don't know.
As it turns out, putting candles on birthday cakes is a tradition that has been around for a long, long time. It can be traced back to ancient Greeks who often burned candles as offerings to their many gods and goddesses. So it's like a religious thing.
So we're offering ourselves to the cake gods.
The cake god.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm all for the cake. Do you like cakes?
Cake, hella cake. I'm not huge into sweet stuff.
Right. What are you more into, like salty stuff or like not actually anything?
What you mean, like snacks or what?
Like food in general?
I guess savory stuff.
More on the salty side. Okay.
Yeah, and I like bitter stuff too, like tea, coffee, those stuff.
You like bitter stuff.
And like alcohol too.
Oh, do you like alcohol?
So like cocktails, those like bitters. I like alcohol, but I don't drink a lot.
I feel like you, as a part of Gentleman Pursuits, should start getting into whiskey, man.
The thing is, I like gin and vodka.
You like vodka?
I mean, I drink whiskey as well sometimes.
Out.
I mean, I just like
you're fired.
Hard liquor.
Out.
Thing is, I don't drink like pure vodka. It's usually in a cocktail.
I actually my favorite cocktail is actually with gin. Instead of with whiskey. Yeah, my favorite cocktail is called Gimlet. It's basically like gin with lime juice and sugar and lime. So it's like a really sour cocktail.
I had this really interesting cocktail. It was like vodka with gin and espresso. It was really, really weird, but I really liked it for some reason. Yeah, it's called Oh yeah, yeah, espresso
Yeah,
martini.
hell
Yeah,
yeah. I like that too. That's like,
I really
yeah,
like these
yeah.
kind of stuff.
Especially with coffee flavored
Yeah,
cocktails. That's hella,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's really like a interesting,
That,
classy
that, yeah, because that
combination.
reminded me of that one time. I mean, as I told you many times before, I worked at a bar, and there's just one like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
signature shots that that's only exclusive to that bar is espresso shots. So basically, it's
Right,
coffee.
right.
It doesn't taste like alcohol at all, but by the time you notice that it has alcohol in it, you're like far gone because you can down like 7 to 8 of them with no problem.
Uh, so sort of like those, like the Long
I
Island
mean, Long
stuff.
Island, you can still taste the alcohol, but like imagine you're actually drinking a latte.
Yeah, but your
Oh yeah,
perception
yeah,
of
yeah,
Long
yeah, yeah.
Island is sort of like you just think like, oh, it's just a cocktail, but you don't know
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
all
yeah, yeah, yeah,
kinds
yeah,
of
yeah.
like hard liquor mixed in together, and by the time you realize it, you're already
Yes,
down.
yes, yes. That like
But yeah, but I really like drinking like in the context of because I really like crafted stuff, right? So cocktails and stuff, I just like to drink them when just on myself, I mean, special occasions when I feel like it.
okay, okay, because that
Yeah, not
that
yeah.
reminded me.
And I mean, if
Yeah.
you got like friends and stuff, and you got a glass of wine, and you guys just talk shit, that's a
Do you
fun
like
times.
beers? You
Oh,
hate beers,
I hate
so your
beers.
like go-to is cocktail.
Yeah, I
Your
don't like
go-to
the
is
taste of
cocktails.
it. Yeah, cocktails or just
Hell
hard
yeah.
liquor, like shots.
Hell yeah. I love people like that because I let's say in a party, at first I'm always the guy that's like reluctant to drink, but once I have like one shot or two shots, I'm the one that's like pressuring people to drink.
Oh, but I don't like getting drunk though.
So you just like to actually enjoy the beverage and have a. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. I actually prefer that than getting
I mean, yeah,
head on the
it's a
floor,
different
this
kind
kind of
of
stuff.
fun, I'd say. But 80% of the time I enjoy
Yeah,
have
yeah,
a
yeah.
good conversation with a friend, with getting
Yep.
tipsy and talking shit about people that we collectively hate.
It's like gossip mode is just
Gossip mode,
turned
because
on.
man, that reminded me of one thing, not the drinking and gossiping part, but the hating on someone
Yep.
collectively is that last last year in this class is called LFS 250. We have to
Right. Life
no,
science.
it's not life science. It's land and food system. Yes, land
Oh,
and food
really?
system. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought it's like LFS is like, oh,
So
life
we have
science.
this like like each term it's a year-long course, and each term we have to get into groups and do like group projects. And the first
Uh-huh.
term is like really good because everyone's really friendly. We distributed work like evenly and shit like that. And I'm always
Yep.
okay with that. But then second term, when I was grouped with people that is kind of, I'd say I was grouped with the smart kids, and that kind of, yeah, smart,
Smart
like
kids.
at least like 2 to 3 of them, let's say 5 of us, at least 2 to 3 of them are like really good at school.
Isn't that like a good thing?
That's a good thing in a sense that I
You
got
just get
carried.
carried, so you
I
just
got
sit back
carried.
and just
But the
enjoy.
thing is, whenever I have something to say, they just get defensive, man.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So they get so defensive. And so I want to ask you, do you work better in a group or do you work better alone?
Man, I'm definitely the type of person to like prefer working alone. Like I would definitely say that because I don't know if I've shared the experience, but so I had like similar experience of working in group projects. I believe everyone does when they go into college or in any context, right? Um, so basically, I think it was last year or first year, I forgot. We again had a group project, but I just thought that people in the same group, they weren't gonna produce a lot of like quality work. So I just told them, you know what, you guys can just sit back. I'll do the work, and I'll guarantee you guys a at least a B or above,
Okay.
right? And I just finished all like the group project is supposed to be like a whole term thing, so it's supposed to be quite big. But I just finished that on my own, and I secured them. I think I got them like a
The
90 out of
fuck?
100
The fuck?
on the project. Yeah, and I just did it by myself because so we did meet a few times, but then I just thought that like they're just being really polite to each other, and but then they're not achieving anything. So I thought like, okay, I don't want to waste time with you guys meeting and just accomplishing nothing. How about we just like, get real with it, and just I'll just do it. You guys can just sit the fuck back.
But damn, do they not hate you for that? Damn, that come off as kind of cocky, man.
I mean, the thing is, I don't think they feel like they can do a lot as well.
Oh, so
That's the thing.
so they're like super on board
Because
with
it's
it.
just straight up. Yeah, because okay, so like in the beginning they were already pretty clueless, and they seem like pretty. I don't know, because I usually
Yeah.
wouldn't do that, right? It usually doesn't come down to that, but it was that bad. Like I had to, because I want my grades. I don't want to waste time just to So why not just like get it over
That's
with?
so true, man. If I feel like my character is like
But
one of your group mates because I'm always the one that's clueless.
well, but I think one of the courses, I believe, is a management course I took. It sort of taught me a lot about like working with people, because in management you sort of have to deal with um managing different people, right? And if you advance a bit, for example, so the course is taught by a
Yeah,
what's an MBA, right? He's an instructor, and he's also like a seasoned consultant who's worked in these kind of industry for like 20 plus years. Well, he basically told us that no matter if you like working alone or working as a group, it won't cut it. You still have to
do
learn how
both.
to sort of coordinate your team if you want to be a successful. So basically, it was a course teaching us how to be a leader. So a course in leadership. And after that course, I started approaching things a bit differently.
Enlighten
So
me.
rather than
Enlighten me.
looking at it as like working with people as a, because before it was like a zero-sum game for me, right? So I either work with you, or I'm working alone. Like there's no in between. So you get like from one extreme, you get that, you know what, screw you guys. You guys don't do anything. I'm gonna finish the whole project by myself. I mean that was of course part of my personality, but that isn't the best way to do things after I learned that. And I mean, if it's like a long-term thing, I would get like ostracized really bad, because it's like, oh yo, who is this asshole? Why does he think he can just do everything by himself, right? But I don't know, because when you think about leadership, right? So my question is, have you ever considered yourself to be a leader? Like have you ever been in leadership positions, or do you want to be in those kind of positions?
Wait, are you looking for me to answer, or is that like a
No, I'm just curious.
Before,
I'm
I've never
just
thought
asking.
of myself as a leader, but now, more and more towards the yes side. Yeah, so because I learn more, and before I was not, mainly because I don't think I'm confident before, and now I'm more and more confident. So yeah,
Right.
I'd say yes.
Right. So yeah, so from your answer, you can see it's like so my answers was different. So your answer is based on confidence, and my original answer was based on personality, because I thought I like working alone and I perform much better by myself. So I automatically thought that this, like, my personality type is
Mm.
not a
Mm.
leader type, right? But then that course sort of taught me that everyone can become a leader. Even if you're an introvert, even if you like working alone, you can still be a leader by, sort of applying different leadership
Okay.
styles. So rather than thinking of as like, okay, I can't be a leader because I'm
Mm-hmm.
this or that, you can think about from another way, as to using your
Yes.
strength and managing your weaknesses to leverage that into being a good leader, no matter what kind of person and what kind of skills you have. Because when you look at
Mm-hmm.
leadership roles, right? Because there's a saying that you want to be the dumbest person in the room,
Yes.
right? Like, you don't want to. If you're like the smartest person in the
Yeah. Yeah.
room,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you're in the wrong room. But being a leader doesn't mean you have to be the smartest person in the room. You could surround yourself with people all smarter than you, all more competent, better
Yes.
in any sense. But you can still be a leader because leadership is about working with people more than your like skill. Of course, there's skill when it comes to leading. So that's basically what I got. But then it got me interested into like I started figuring out how to work with different types of
Mm-hmm.
people. Like, do you have like a specific type of people you hate working with, right? Do
Yes.
you have like
The
a
know-it-all.
like
I
do you
hate
hate
working with
working with a
know-it-all. Yeah.
the know-it-all? Why?
Actually, it's not because of the knowledge part. It's just because like when I say know-it-all, it's basically people that constantly cut you when you're talking because they think they know shit.
You
Yeah, the
mean like
show
the
offs. Yes.
show-offs?
Yes. Yeah.
Uh, I mean, yeah, I think that's more on like a. I mean, you could classify them as really
Yes.
outspoken, right? And I guess okay. Now I don't think that's like a particular style, because when I think about style, I think about like, oh, so do you like to
Oh,
plan things beforehand, or are you really organized, or do you,
wait.
like, for example, you can be really organized, you can be really observant, right? You can be really motivational, like
Oh,
those kind of
but
work
you asked me
style, rather than like
what kind of people
being
I
a
don't
dick.
like to work with, right? I mean, I can't really.
Yeah, I meant like what kind of work style. Because, for example, right, let me
Okay.
give my own example. I really don't like working with people that aren't really like
Oh,
organized.
okay. Okay.
And I especially don't like people who just uh sort of go off a tangent. They just have crazy ideas, and they sort of like, oh, today let's do this, tomorrow let's do
Oh,
that. Being
so
a
it's
bit
like too
eccentric with their work
spontaneous.
ethics. Like, yeah, too spontaneous or too
Oh,
decentralized. So you
okay.
just, oh, today I'm gonna do this, tomorrow I'm gonna do that. So I
Oh,
meant like that.
I don't like working with people that is not focused on the current thing that is happening, or at least the project, right?
I see, I
If
see.
I want to work with you and I can see that you're not like de- like dedicated into what we're doing right now and not focused, I just instantly want you out of it because I can tell immediately
Right,
that
right, right.
you wouldn't have anything constructive to say because you're not even focused. So yeah, so that's like
Mhm.
my not something that I don't like. But okay, from the management thing that you said just now, that everyone can be a leader, I believe, because I agree with that too. Everyone can be a leader. It doesn't actually need a certain type of people to be a leader. But also something
Right.
that I feel like a leader need to embody, or at least like a character that they need to have, is to be able to control the room or be able to control the group in a sense. Because let's
Uh-huh.
say you are, you are a leader, let's say you're an introvert, whatever, you're really good at that thing, and the current project that you guys are working on is right up your alley. So it's, normally speaking, you would be the one to lead the room towards the goal because you're the best at it. And with your skill, with your
Right.
communication, you're
Right.
trying to bring the whole team towards the one common goal. But because you are not good at, you're not that good at bringing people together and motivating them and pointing them towards one direction, and everyone, even though they have the same vision, same goal, they are not clear. They're not clear enough to go in, to go together in any direction. So I really don't think, like, to a certain extent, I agree that anyone can be a leader, but you also need to be able to control.
Well, yeah, I think your doubt on the leadership position is exactly what we cleared in our course. So basically, our instructor told us that, or basically, I learned that being a leader, for example, if I'm an introvert and I lead in a particular group, right? So my strengths are probably because, so first of all, I'd say that I'm pretty goal driven and I'm really analytical. So I can spot patterns and organize them really, really fast. So when I first join any group, I just sort of identify the patterns. So who's good at what, and I sort them, and I like to organize things, right? But as you said, which I agree, I'm not really the best motivational guy. Like I don't know how to rally up people. But then being a good leader, that doesn't stop me from being a good leader, because being a you can think of a group of person, right? Let's say you're a leader, you have different assets, right? So you can think about it as, oh, just because I don't have the skills to communicate or what, I can't really be a good leader because I'm an introvert. But you can think about it as differently as, okay, if I can spot a person who can rally up people in my own group, then I can use that person to achieve whatever I can't do. So you sort of borrow.
Okay.
So you don't treat people as your subordinates anymore.
So
You're sort
you're
of like on the equal
utilizing
level.
skills to help you.
Yeah, because obviously, while you are the leader, while you are like sort of steering the group into the direction, you can't do anything. Like you can't do everything by yourself. You have to use other people. For example, just take our operation, for example, right? So obviously, you and I are good at
Yeah.
different things, right? And if you want to really argue that, okay, who's going to be above who,
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to get productive. But if you think about it as, okay, let's organize ourselves in a way that we can both steer this gentleman's pursuit thing towards one direction. But when it comes to one thing, that you're good at, we're going to listen to, or we're going to follow your direction. If it comes to something that I'm good at,
Just like
we're
the
going to
tech
follow my
support
direction.
just now that
So,
happened.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
And so I think the same thing applies. So, for example, if I'm working with a group of people, and I mean, I try my best to do it, but obviously I'm not going to be that good because my personality, I'm not really like motivational. But I'll try my best. And if I see someone that's really good at it, I'm going to encourage them to, hey, I really like your of a spirit. I appreciate it. Like, can you help the group with something? Can you come up with some activities, or can you come up with some ways, or like just communicate, right? So I think the foundational skill here is being observant enough and communication. But I don't really think it has anything to do with
But
like your
see here,
personality type, right? Because you can look at on the opposite side. Let's say you have someone who's really vibrant, who's really confident and outspoken. Well, he might overlook a lot of details, right? Because he's not detail oriented. Then you could say that, oh, because he can't manage details, he can't be a good leader. Like you can always say someone can't be a
but
good leader.
my point being that you have it takes a certain type of people to concisely and clearly communicate with his team member, right? Even though they don't put themselves above his team members, you have to make people listen to you, and that is somehow kind of hard to achieve. Even though you have the skill, you have the mindset, you have the plan, first thing first, you have to get people on board with you so they will work with you. And that's what I'm getting at, is that
So you think that like a particular type of person can't
I
do that?
think if that person doesn't is not brave enough, is not open enough to communicate, he can't be a leader because communication
Right.
is the base of being a leader.
Well, yeah. Like being a leader implies
Oh, okay,
already that you sort of
okay,
have good
okay. Then
communication
after that,
skills. Yeah. So I thought that was
yeah,
like
okay, no, no, no,
cleared
yeah,
beforehand. Cause yeah. I think if you lack communication, like if you can't get your ideas across. So for example, right, you have your idea
yes,
inside your head. It's just naked. It's not packaged. It's not anything. But let's say you can speak really well. Let's say you can write really well. You sort of have the tools, the medium to
yes.
express that idea, right? And you can sharpen that tool with time and practice to make sure your idea gets across really, really clear.
That's
It's the same thing because sometimes you talk with someone and they're trying to explain something and you're sitting there like okay and what
yes,
they start just ramble about but nothing really gets
yes,
across. So that's like probably an indication that you might want to practice a bit on your communication skills, or at least
yes.
how to like communicate your ideas to someone effectively. I think that's a major key.
One really good example that I can use here is that recently I did the interview with the communication manager from MBNF. His name's Arno, and we talked about
Yeah.
MBNF. And so MBNF full name is Maximilian Boozer and Friends. So Max Boozer is basically the CEO, the founder of MBNF, and so
Right.
he himself is a prominent figure in the watch world. Like he this is legendary. So I asked Arno, what is it like to work with Max? And he said how,
Hmm.
because it's a relatively small watchmaking company as well, so every week when any worker has any idea or suggestions for Max, he after maybe a week or two, he will make that happen. He will
Huh.
implement, like try his best to implement your ideas onto maybe the current project or any management level thing, because he believed that as a
Right.
leader, as a boss of the company, he has to listen and then connect with his coworker. I mean, connect with his worker, and yeah. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
that is something like that totally aligned with what I have in mind as a leader, is that you have to listen and lead the team yourself instead of, okay, hey, you, Chris, go take care of this group of people. You, Patricia, come on, go take care of this. Yeah, and then I'll
Yeah.
sit back, come back to me a week later, give me reports and shit like that. That's not
Yep.
how you properly lead. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Uh-huh. Like I think that one of the major problems that people have with the management in general is that there's like the distance between the workers and the managers sometimes is a bit big. So when you have a poor manager, he probably won't try and understand the like your individual situation. You just sort of get treated like a heap. So all your workers, you just sort of belong to one single entity.
Mm,
But in essence, it's not really like that because everyone has their own. Like for example, one worker might have some difficulties with their families, so they can't really come to work on this particular days, and you just sort of disregard that as normal. Like, oh, he's just not coming to work. It's not the best thing you could do,
mm,
you know.
yeah.
So I think yeah, being a leader, you also need to like sort of understand and get to know who you work with. I think that's really important.
Mm. Okay, but
Yeah, because like you said, if you don't listen, like, because sometimes when you're in that position of power, you sort of think that people below you are sort of
yeah,
irrelevant, right? You're prone, like people are
yeah, yeah,
prone to
yeah.
that kind of. Did I say
It's
cockiness?
the
That's not really
corruption of
cockiness, right?
power.
Or you just don't think you should, or you just straight up don't think they matter because they work for you, and why
Yeah,
should you even
yeah, yeah.
care?
That's a bad
But
mindset, though.
I think the most important thing is that you have to acknowledge that yes, they work for you, but without them, you have nothing.
Do you think?
Like they are your most valuable assets,
So
like in
we've
my
talked
opinion.
about like leaders and stuff like that. But do you think as a worker, there are like certain types of personality that makes you a good worker or makes you stand out from, from the crowd?
How do you define good worker though?
I don't even know. Like does a good worker means that you're a good leader? Does a good leader mean I don't even know, because if you want to, I feel like the only thing that makes you stand out from the crowd is let's say people from higher level, like people from above you, see that you can lead your coworker towards a common goal, right? And that's
Well, the thing is, even if you have a manager, you can still like leader isn't a role. Like I think leader is an identity more
isn't
than a
that isn't
role.
that the same thing?
Like a role implies that it is official, but identity is arbitrary. Like you can spot leaders in even friend groups where there shouldn't be any hierarchies existing, but you sort of spot that leadership
Oh,
position,
okay.
that guy who is like everyone goes to and everyone follows. But is that guy technically the boss? Not really, right? Even in family
Right.
dynamics, you still can spot the leader. For example, some families is the wife, some family
Yes.
is the husband, right? But it doesn't imply that okay that is like a official position of power. Yes, of course, let's say you're in a company environment, you have the CEOs, you have the managers, this and that, right? Those are like
Mm,
official titles. But then even within, let's say we're all working at the same level, we're all basic like clerks, right? You're gonna still find that one leader position that everyone just sort of follows. I think I want to. Well, I think I would picture leadership in that sense rather than quantifying it and limiting it just to the official title, because I honestly believe that leaders and leadership in general is natural. Like, of course, let's say you can force
yeah.
leadership onto someone, right? But where does your legitimacy come from, right? If we look at governments, right, obviously you have rule of law, you have the military, but when we're looking at civilian context, right, if you want to become a leader, where where does your legitimacy come from? It mostly probably comes from your charisma, your character, or how like basically how you work with people and how people like working with you. So in a sense that when you say that being a good leader implies that being a good worker, that's actually true. Because if you work well with people, people are automatically gonna put you into that leadership position because they like working with you. They like working for you because they feel like you're someone that's worth working with or
Yes.
worth
Yes.
working for. Like I think that's what I have in mind, rather than your description of like leader and worker being two different classes. I think they're essentially the same. You just sort of mix them around,
Yeah. Okay.
right? Because obviously you can't always be the guy in
Yeah.
front.
Yeah.
But does it imply that so for every time you are not the leader, you're just gonna be like, okay, I'm not the leader. Fuck it. I'm gonna screw everything up
So,
for everyone.
do you think, because as you mentioned just now, that you work better alone, right? And even when it comes to the group project, when you can sense that your teammate are not as competent as you expected, you would rather work on the project yourself than waste time with them, right? So
Yeah, that is purely like
it's
the.
circumstantial.
Actually, I sort
So
of
it's kind. Is
planted
it?
that. I sort of planted that as a comparison. So, like, that is a obviously wrong mindset after
Oh
we've
yeah.
gone
No.
through
I'm not trying to. I'm not
the
trying to pin you against
like.
it, but I'm just saying, because sometimes, let's say, even for myself, even though I'm not leaders or the one in group projects that lead the team, but sometimes on my tiny projects, let's say General Pursuits, it is really hard for me to pawn like jobs out to other people to do it for me. Like even as simple as, hey, can you keep
Right.
track of my calendar for me, so and tell me. I don't trust anyone to do that, because I myself is not comfortable enough where I can just leave something for someone and trust them completely with that.
So even if they do it better than you,
You see, I wouldn't know
because I'm a big fan of
because
outsourcing
but the
labor.
thing is, I wouldn't know because I'm even scared of taking that first step of like even letting them try.
Well, yeah. So, you could probably evaluate that person first. That's why. Let's say you hire a secretary to keep track of whatever you're doing right now. You probably want to screen that person.
Yeah, but I don't know.
See if they can. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from. You sort of sometimes, yeah, I have that same problem where I don't trust anyone
Yeah.
but myself. But then I would also tell myself that, hey, maybe that's not a really good thing, because putting too much trust on yourself could have negative
Yeah.
effects as well. Because sometimes you sort of overlook things that are pretty evident when you view it from a third person perspective. But because you're sort of tunnel visioning into, like, you're only seeing what you see, you sort of sometimes get stuck into different, like,
now I'm
sticky
more
situations.
comfortable with it.
But
Now I'm more comfortable
completely
after
understand.
you joining, and then I felt like, oh, some tasks like you can do for me and I trust you, and after that, oh, the results like really good, and now I'm more comfortable with that. But before I was like, dude, no, I don't trust you at all, even though I know you're smarter than me, more competent than me. I don't care. I just don't trust you. Before it's
I think it's like a work in
Yeah.
progress, right? You sort of have to work with the person. Like, I sort of have to, have to show that, hey, I'm not trying to just, like, I'm not doing this on a whim. I'm trying to do this for a long term. I have plans. You probably have to come out and be, you have to be, like, you have to contribute a bit. You can't just show up empty handed and expect people to give you all the trust, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's pretty normal. Yeah. So I think that working with people, I know, you sort of have to put in a bit of effort first. So like you mentioned, you sort of have to understand and listen to the people you work with first, in order for, like, to answer your question, right? How do you get people to listen to you? I think the answer might be you have to listen to them
Hey,
first.
flip that. Look at the turntable.
I mean, isn't that true though? Like, based on your example, even on MBNF, like, I guess probably, like, the workers really like working
they love him. They love him.
That guy, because imagine if your boss listens to your ideas and actually implements it into something. Like, I'd love to work for a boss like that. So, it's sort of like a two-way relationship. So if you ask, why do the workers follow
Max,
what's his name again? I forgot. I'm sorry. No, like, why do workers follow Max? It's probably because Max listens to his workers first. So it's like a, two-way relationship. You listen to me, I listen to you. And I think that's probably one of the keys to leadership in general.
Do you think you're a good listener?
I try to be.
Do you think you're better? Do you think you're a better advice giver, or do you think you're a better listener?
I think to give good advice, you must learn how to listen.
So do you think you're a good listener then?
I think, I don't know. I don't think they're related. I think they are parallel. I don't think they're like two different things. I think they belong into the same thing, because, okay, in order for you to give a good advice, you probably have to listen really closely to that person, right? Or else, how could you come up with good advice? You can't just throw out random
by being
advice
a good
at people. Then you're just being
a good listener,
right?
I mean, like, can you just stay there and just listen and be able to not talk and just listen and understand? No.
Wait,
like,
what do you mean by
some
not
people
talk?
are not good listeners because let's say they actually try to understand, but they.
Oh, I think what you mean is that when someone is trying to talk with you, rather than listening, you start talking
No,
about
not talking about
yourself.
yourself.
I think
But
that's
I
what you
mean, like,
mean.
let's say I'm ranting to you, right? Let's say I'm ranting to you, and I want you to just listen. I told you, hey Josh, like I got something to say, but I want you to just listen. I don't need any advice, okay? And can you just just sit there and listen to me without having the urge to talk and give me advice?
Dude, okay, to be honest, I've never actually had someone do that to
because
me.
I
Yeah, I'm not like none of the people I know have said that. Hey, I just want to talk to someone, so can you just
yeah.
listen? Like it's usually like whenever talk, it's either just talking or we're just sort of exchanging ideas. It's not
Oh,
like a
okay.
one way. I don't know. That makes me kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because so you're just using me
No,
as
no,
like,
it
hey.
makes it. That's
So
what.
are
No,
you
no, that's
objectifying me?
that's
Is
what I'm
that
trying to
what it
say. Because
is?
before, let's say 2 years ago, like this actually happened to me. Like,
Right. Oh, so someone actually came up to you and said, "Hey, Ryan, I
no,
want
no,
you
not
to
shut the
shut the
fuck up.
fuck
No, no,
up.
no, no,
I'm
no.
gonna
Like
and just
she
listen."
said, hey, I want you, like it's a she.
Oh,
It's a
it's a
she. It's a
she.
she.
No wonder.
I-
No wonder I've never done
chill,
that.
chill. So she was like, "Hey Ryan,
Damn.
like can I rant to you about something? But I don't really need like I don't want to listen to any advice because like I'm not in the mood for it. I just need someone to vent to." And I was like, "Yeah, for sure."
Oh, now that you say that, I actually
Yeah, and
have
then
similar experiences, but it's always a she. It's
so I
never a
was
he.
sitting there listening. I'm actually trying to understand, but like I don't know why, but inside me, I have this urge to talk. So back then, I'm not a good listener.
Sometimes you just gotta
Yeah,
sit
yeah,
there
right.
and
But
just
before I
listen,
can't do that. I
because
even
that's.
like I'm struggling to not talk. But now it's like I can't. I mean, now I can do that. Just sit there and listen and actually understand. But before,
I mean, I just sort of automate the response, like, "Oh, really? Oh, wow! No, no
that's
way!
crazy.
Oh my god, that's
Imagine your boss talking to
crazy!"
you like that every time you have something to. Damn. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like, "Hey, boss, the office is on fire,
Damn,
and
that's
we're gonna leave." Oh
crazy,
my
man.
god,
That's
that's
crazy.
crazy! I can't
Yeah,
believe
it's not
it.
my fault though.
Damn, yo, you know what? Send
Yeah,
me an
yeah,
email
yeah. Good
afterwards,
job, good
okay?
job, good job
It's
on
like,
telling me that. Yeah.
good job.
And not do shit.
But I don't know. The thing is, whenever I get those kind of rants, it's you. I'm not trying to like gender stereotype or anything, but it's usually with a
Oh,
she.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, and to that, my answer is I don't know if she's worth your time,
I mean,
go
she's my
ahead.
friend.
but if you think, but if you I don't know if you think that if you're doing it for something in return, then I don't think you should do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I've not really dealt a lot with that, so I probably just sit there and be like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, damn, that's crazy. I can't believe that happened to you, man.
Oh my god, no way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in that case, in that context, then I don't know. I guess I can't just sit there and listen.
Yeah.
I still have, like you said, the urge to say something. Because I like conversations when it's like two ways. It's like spontaneous. I don't like dead conversations where it's just I'm just unloading my
I mean, some people just
stuff
needed
onto
that,
you.
right? At that moment,
And just
maybe they
like,
just needed someone to just listen.
isn't that a bit unhealthy?
Well, no, I don't think so. Like, I'm not in the mood for you to correct me on anything. I just really need to let it out.
I mean, I sort of don't like the idea of that, where you sort of dump your own
Oh,
problems
I don't
onto
do that,
someone
but
else.
like, I would understand
And
that.
yeah, I mean, I would understand it, but I probably, if one of my friends did that, I'd probably have like, I don't know, it probably changed my perception of that
Oh,
person.
when they like just tell you to shut
I
the
mean,
fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Let me
yeah,
tell you a story, okay?
like if they say something to me, I'll just gonna ask them, yo, what's happening, or like, hey, what can I help? If they're just like, you know what, no, I don't want you to help, I don't want you, just shut up and listen, I'm gonna be like, damn,
Oh,
what the
then you'd be
fuck.
like, oh, why come to me then?
you know no, I'd probably be like, wow, this guy's really immature.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, because you can't expect, like, I don't know. I think people abuse communication in that sense. I think it's a bit of an abuse, but hey, I'm not an expert. You can do whatever you want, right? If someone wants to listen to you, good for you. But honestly, I don't feel like it. It's just me. So right. But
Okay.
yeah, like onto the topic of like working with people. I don't know, because I can't come to the point that I'm gonna establish like that kind of relationship with my, like, with the people
Mm-hmm.
I work with, or even the
Mm-hmm.
people I know, right? So when let's say I come up with you and say, "Yo, Ryan, I'm in a bit of a like a tight situation. I have some things going on in life." When I approach you, I probably already have it sorted out, and I just want some advice, or I just want to talk. But it's not like I'm gonna ask you to sit there while I sort things out.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah, yeah.
understand what
No,
I'm
no.
saying.
Yeah, I mean, not to a like extreme extent where you just come here and not like, and me not talking a sentence and then you just leave. But yeah, to,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
a
yeah.
point
Right,
where
right, right.
you want to unload your emotion, then I can speak or something like that. I don't know. But
I mean, if you're clearly emotional, I'd probably just shut up
Josh,
and
man,
listen, right?
like, damn, like,
But yeah, whatever. But yeah, I think time is closing to the end. But I think we've gone over quite a bit of mileage on this
yeah. To be
episode,
honest, like, I don't know why we set
and
ourselves up for like a 50-minute mark. We can totally set ourselves up for like a 40 to 50-minute mark next time.
I don't know. I just
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah,
sort of
yeah,
feel
yeah. I
like
feel you.
every time I don't hit the mark, it's
Fuck.
like we're not producing quality. But anyways, if you're still listening right now, all right, here comes the
And
recurring controversial tea spilling
what's your
part,
weekly
because we
controversial
know
thought?
that nobody is listening. My
Yeah, weekly
controversial thought,
controversial thing that you want to share.
my controversial thing I want to share. Do you have anything to share? Let me think about it for a bit.
Any
Any
hot
hot
takes?
takes? This is gonna be gentlemen's hot
Oh,
takes
yo, actually, yeah,
post
actually, it's pretty. Yeah,
40
it's
minutes.
actually pretty decent idea. Hot takes, gentleman's hot take. Um,
Gentlemen's hot takes. This is the new segment that's gonna occur
I got a
when you
hot take.
stay
I
to
got a
the
hot
end of
take.
the
Trump
podcast.
actually didn't get the
All
COVID.
right, spit it out, dude. I
Hey, let's
actually agree with that.
go.
I
Hey,
actually agree with that.
no fucking way
I
he
think I
recovered from
think
3 days.
I think that's a I think that's like
Yes,
a
yeah, that's a
election
stunt, man.
campaign thing. It's it's
Yes,
it's like a
exactly,
stunt.
exactly. There you go. Oh, hey, let's go.
I don't believe it. I don't
Yeah.
believe it. Either he's got some like presidential level super drug
Yeah,
that
or
cures
he's
COVID,
Superman, man. Yeah,
or he's
or he's
just
Superman.
faking it. Like his tan.
Fake, yeah, fake
Fake.
news. No
Right?
way, he's 71
Fake.
years old, recovered from COVID in 3 days? Nah.
He should be
Yeah,
dead if he has COVID.
yeah, he should be dead. I mean, he should be
I mean, he
belongs
belongs
to the
to
street.
the age group. He belongs to the streets, but he belongs to the age group where like the COVID side effects are pretty
What if
pretty
it's actually a
severe.
clone Trump? Yo,
Clone
what
Trump,
the fuck?
yo, what the hell? Is he a
Yo,
lizard?
we're going too far down. We're going too far down the
Lizard
rabbit
with a
hole.
human skin. Who do you think is gonna win though?
I feel like Joe Biden, to be honest. I feel like
Really? I have this I honestly, okay, this is the really bad thing about election is you're just choosing the
yeah, the
best
best
out
out
of
of
the
the worst.
worst,
Like they're
you know?
both bad, but I feel like Trump has so much hate. Even Trump supporters, can't back him
Like
up this time.
I had one of my I spoke to one of my friends over living in the States online, and I asked him about the election, and he told me that it's just basically, do you want the rapist or the racist? and I ask him who's who.
I don't know.
He says,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, they're both pedophiles.
they seem both like hey, I don't know. Hey, yo, chill out on what you say. You don't want to end up like Epstein, right?
I can always
I'm
cut
just
this
saying.
part out. I can always cut
Don't
this
know who's
part out.
listening. Hey, don't cut it out, bro. It's the gentleman's hot take. What are you trying to do? Anyways,
I'm not trying to end up in jail.
enough of that. Hey, you're living in Canada though, so they can't touch you.
Yeah, that's true. Trudeau's the best.
Unless
Trudeau's
they flip the
handsome.
border.
He's hot. He's extra attractive. The best. I'm just, just in case he's listening. He's like,
Wait, dude, does Canadians hate Trudeau? Because I've heard like quite a bit of bad comments about him. He says like he does nothing or something.
when it comes to politics, there's only two sides of the argument, right? There's always people that love Trudeau.
We ain't about to get into that rabbit hole and trigger half of our audience, which is 0.5, because we only.
Marco, I love you, man.
Hey, shout out Marco. Also, shout out who's
Josh.
Who's
Josh.
the name? Who should I shout out? Oh shit! Shout out
No,
myself.
Mr. Taylor, Mr. Josh Taylor. Yes.
Okay, whatever. Shout out to myself. Yes. Hey, what's up? Anyways, thank you for staying with us. As usual, check out the links, description, everything. Stay safe and stay hydrated. And see you guys next week. Bye.